Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. This week is going to be pretty crazy. We are doing a whole bunch of stuff, so this video is going to be fully packed with some good projects, and two, this backyard transformation is about to get a whole lot better. Let me tell you what we're about to do today and tomorrow, I believe, and then later in the week. So here's our beautiful patio, right house. We're about to do this whole section right here. All of this ground area is about to be gravel, and then we're also putting a fence covering this AC unit, so it'll come out this way and go out this way to the edge of the house. And we're also building planter beds, 2 of them I think, that will be going here. So the fence that we're doing is going to be pretty modern. We're actually about to head to Home Depot to get all of the materials for that, and then the planter beds are going to be, I think, raised planter beds is what we decided to do, so we can move them around just to kind of decide where we want to put them. But I think we are going to have plans for these planter beds, I believe, which will be super exciting. We haven't had plans come out in a really long time, and also we haven't done a woodworking project in a long time, so it's going to be a fun next few days. Sorry if there's a wind noise and the plane. We also have all of our patio furniture sitting in the garage, and it is taking everything in me not to open these up and put them outside. So we have a lot to do to this area. We have pavers that all need to be taken out. We have this stuff. I've already moved some piping over to the other side that we're laying across here. More pavers and bricks. And then we need to take all this grass out and then level the ground. We need to level the ground so then we can add all of our gravel and have correct drainage to run to that part of the yard. But this patio is turning out so nice. I cannot wait for the house to be painted, for one, for this area to be done, and it's going to start feeling like a finished product finally, and then we can get all of the furniture placed on the patio. The yard pretty much graded today. We actually started a little bit later than we would have liked, so we're looking at tomorrow getting gravel, main thing, and then doing the fence. Hopefully it's not going to rain. Forecast says it's supposed to rain for the next 2 weeks or for the next 14 days or whatever, but honestly in Alabama that could change within like an hour, and like the whole week says it'll be sunny. So we'll see, have to play it by ear for the rest of this project and the rest of this week. But at least the ground is pretty level. Dylan, as you saw, sloped it from the concrete pad down. So the whole yard is actually on a slope, so the water will run off, well, this way on camera. But so the water will run off and it won't run on the concrete pad. So super exciting day tomorrow. Not as much as we would have liked to get done today because we had to take the truck in actually to get a wheel alignment, so that took up a lot of the day just figuring that out and driving back and forth to the shop. So anyway, that is how today went, and we will just have to see you in the morning. So it's been raining all night and all this morning, so the yard is pretty wet. There's puddles everywhere, but we have deadlines to meet and we have a fence to build and also planter beds to build. So we're just gonna work through the mud and get this done. Let's go. Smarter, not harder, but
so now we have our post in the hole. This is our first corner post. We're gonna tamp the bottom of this hole, get it nice and compacted, and then do our measurement again and add any dirt if we need to, or remove any dirt if we need to. You want to go ahead and pack this in, because if you don't, then the post will settle and you won't have an accurate measurement as far as your depth of hole goes. So get it packed, and then we're going to do the most controversial thing that we could do in this video. I'm going to show you my method. Well, it's not my method, it's my dad's method. I don't know where he learned it from, but he's been doing this for over 20 years, and I've been doing it ever since I've been born on every project I've ever done with him. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this concrete in the hole without any water. Okay, we're gonna get packed in. We're gonna put a little in as we go and pack it with, this is the end of a broom cut off. This has also probably been around for a decade. It has been the tool that we have put up God knows how many thousands of feet of fence. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit in the hole, tamp it around the post, get the post fairly level, add a little bit more, tamp, get the post perfectly level, and then we're gonna add the rest and keep tamping it all the way up to the top. Okay, and then we'll add water at the very end of this project. We're gonna build a whole fence like that. We're gonna get these braced off like you normally would for the concrete to set up, but this expedites the process a lot. And there are many fences to prove that this works phenomenally well. Also decks and many other things that we've built over the years. Anyway, let's get this concrete added in here, and we'll get this post level and braced off. We've got our two corner end posts, I should say, set up here and braced. Now this is where we are going to use a string line, because this is what matters. There's going to be a post in the center of these. If this was a longer fence, you would still go to the end post, or you would start halfway or a quarter of the way, depending on how long the fence is. I'm going to put that on a nail that's just nailed right into the corner of the board. By putting it in the corner, it forces that to line up with the edge of your board here. And you're going to take that all the way back. In our case, not very far. And you're going to come here and you're going to get that tight. Now the way you get that tight, okay, you're going to make a loop once, okay, just like that. Just make a loop, then twist. This is going to create friction on the line. You're going to pull that to your nail, okay, and you're going to pull this way and pull with this hand so you can get this tight. Put a little too many twists in there, that's why it's being more difficult. Get it tight like that, and then you're just going to pull that backwards and once around here. And there you go. Now you have a really nice taut line, and you didn't have to make any knots. And now we have a straight line in between here. So now we know that this post on the middle just needs to just touch the edge of this line, and that'll make sure the fence is straight. Because really, that's all that matters when you're building fences for the most part, is that they're straight. So now we just need to measure, make sure that we get our post in the center. One thing to note is that this post, from outside of that post to outside of that post, is 16 feet because we're doing 8-foot centers. So now this board, the center of the board, will be 8 feet. So our boards will run all the way to the end of that board and all the way into that board and meet in the middle on this post. So now we just need to make sure that that line is still correct for 8 feet and dig our hole. So we didn't get quite done in a day, but to be fair, we didn't get started until about lunchtime because of the rain. So we'll spend probably another half a day tomorrow to wrap things up. What we need to do is flush all the tops of the
4x4s.
I'm like exhausted. All of the 4x4s need to get cut off. All the boards on the ends need to get cut off. We need to go get more concrete to set the last post. We ran out of concrete on the last post in that corner. Then we have some vertical trim pieces, and
we need to do that side, this side of the fence too.
Yeah, so that's the one that we forgot. We didn't get enough concrete for. And then we're gonna do like a cap across the top, but we'll do all that tomorrow, which is supposed to storm again tomorrow. It's supposed to storm all day today. It's still a mud hole over here, so we'll see. Play it by ear, see if it happens tomorrow. But this is basically 12 till, what is it?
It's
5?
like 6:30.
6:30. Wow. So this is about 6 hours of work then.
Calling that a day, and let's go get dinner.
Yeah. So it finally stopped raining, and we're getting ready to trim all of these deck boards, that are fence boards obviously, to the edge of this post. Normally I would either use a skill saw or a reciprocating saw, but actually today I got a brand new toy that we're going to check out and see how well it works for this application. This would be like a really heavy duty application for this tool, so if it can do this, I'll be pretty impressed. This is actually Ryobi's brand new 1+ HP line of tools. This is a brushless multi-tool, oscillating tool. So you've got the standard lift up the lever. On this unit here, there's a piece that you slide and turn that way, and then you can, angle this in any direction and then slide before you lock it back in place. And then what I like about this one is that it's got this variable speed knob here, which is really helpful, because if you're ever doing trim work with one of these, which is what this is like really good for, it's nice to be able to turn the speed way down so you're not like attacking something at full speed. So let's give this a whirl. I'm gonna turn it all the way up and see what happens. I've got a brand new Diablo clean cut blade in here. This is a bimetal clean wood cut blade. Anyway, let's give it a whirl. So this tool is available at the Home Depot exclusively. Home Depot is a partner of ours. They've been a long time supporter of the channel. We are part of their prospective tool review program, so this is one of many tools that we have received and are giving our hopefully unbiased review on here. I'm gonna tell you what I really think about it, and you'll obviously be able to see how it works. What that program has allowed us to do is be able to review a lot of different tools, so it gives us a unique perspective to be able to actually compare this to a lot of variables and not just like, you know, what might be our preferred line of tools or anything like that. I actually get to like see the full gamut, which is really nice. And we've been using Ryobi for how many years?
Oh, like our first drills were Ryobi.
Probably like 8 years. We've been using Ryobi professionally, making money with Ryobi tools. So I love seeing this new brushless, more compact line of theirs. Awesome products in the past. Let's check this one out.
Oh my gosh.
Probably need some glasses. So that definitely takes way longer than using, say, a reciprocating saw, but the finish of this is like super good. And this actually went through this a lot better than I expected, to be honest with you. This is thick wood and it's treated, so it's a little bit tougher on stuff like this, but that clearly it had enough power because you don't see any waviness. If tools are underpowered, typically what you'll see is you'll see bad cut quality. So this tells me that this tool is quite powerful and actually is probably, you know, more powerful than what you would ever typically use it on. So that is a very promising first test right there. I mean, that is just crisp. That is super nice. And it's probably worth spending a little extra time using this tool to do this. Yeah, check this guy out. So just to test out the two different methods that I would normally use, I did these two using a reciprocating saw. And you know, this isn't going to happen with every blade, but with these Diablos you're going to get some red on there for a bit. So that's going to have to get sanded off, and you can see the quality is not nearly as good, especially on this back side where the blade is exiting. So in this case, I think this tool is, you know, a cleaner option. I'm not going to say it's necessarily the better option for this application, but it's certainly a lot cleaner cut than this, which, I mean, clearly it's going to be. I'm not trying to make any sort of point here. I'm just showing the different ways that I would normally go about doing this, and I am overall pretty impressed with the quality of cut and the ease of cutting through these boards. So sun is going down. I've had, well, pretty much just a day, but I've done a lot with it on this entire fence. So I'm going to give you my end of this video review. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated if we use this in a future video, and then I'll talk more about it again. But here's just sort of my final thoughts about it. I think at its price point of 99 bucks, you can't really beat it if you're already in the Ryobi tool line. I don't think it stands out enough to like switch to Ryobi necessarily, but if you're in the Ryobi line, you won't be disappointed with this. I would say the only con of it that I can find is the tool changing. So this, super easy. That's what you see in all the really high-end, very expensive versions of this. You see this simple one lever flip. They add one extra step, which is push this way and turn. Okay, so that's the drawback, that you have to basically push this way and turn. So if that deters you, then maybe look elsewhere. But that is the main, not flaw, the main con, I would say, compared to other tools that I've used, is you have to flip down, flip over, then you can do the clamp. But this clamp is really nice. And I will just give you some tips, words of advice. I found that between 5 and 4 is probably the sweet spot in this tool as far as the speed goes. 6 is like kind of starting to walk away from you, going kind of crazy. I think between 5 and 4 is the perfect sweet spot as far as vibration goes, and that 5 and below, very little vibration. At 6, a lot of vibration. So I would keep it probably, you know, 5 or below. And yeah, I do recommend it. It's extremely lightweight. I have a giant 4 amp battery on here, but you could put standard 2 amp battery It's super small, super lightweight. I think you guys will like it. If you're interested, again, there's links in the description below. And thanks Home Depot for supporting this channel. It makes projects like this possible. Ryobi 1 Plus Oscillating Multi-Tool. Thumbs up.
So I got a little bit of bad news. The gravel that we ordered for this little backyard space, they actually brought the gravel we needed for the front driveway, so we aren't able to finish this little area this week. And also because it's been raining non-stop, it has finally let up for the first time today. So we aren't going to be able to finish the fence up in this video, or the planter beds for that matter. That'll be in next week's video, but we are making a whole separate video of each of these projects. So what you saw of us building the fence is not all of the footage that we filmed. We will have a separate video with a whole lot more detail, a whole lot more talking about what we're doing, measurements, whatever, stuff like that. So I apologize for the first clip in this video saying that this is going to be jam-packed. The rain just kind of put a damper on it the entire week. So yeah, and also I kind of want to film like the finished product and the actual build video of this space as well. So I kind of didn't want to put the whole finished thing in this video. So sorry. With all that being said, I think we're going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of a little bit different and kind of scattered and everywhere, but it's just kind of what we're doing in the backyard right now, which has been a lot of fun. It's been hot too, and also raining, of course. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next week.